Hello everyone, how's it going? So in this video we're going to see the solution to the first and second problem of Code Forces round 663 division 2. So I did the first and second quickly, but I can't get a move on the third one. So I decided to just make some videos as I hadn't in a long time. So both of these problems are very easy. So let's look at the first one. So we've been explained what a permutation is. So in case you don't know, you can read, but still a permutation is simply a numbers from 1 to n. A permutation of length n will be numbers from 1 to n in any order. For example, you can see that here we have 1 2 3 4 5 in any order, random order, and it's a permutation, but 1 to 2 is not a permutation because 2 appears twice. Okay, so we're given a number n basically, and we want to find a permutation p of length n which is good. And how will a permutation be good? It will be good if every subarray, for example, every subarray or of elements in every subarray is more than the number of elements in that subarray. Okay, so what does that mean? So, for example, it's given that finding finding permutation of length 3, we're given with 3 1 2. So let's just work with this. So I just move the increase the size. Okay, so we have to find a permutation of length 3 such that each subarray, the OR of elements of each subarray will be more than the number of elements in that subarray. For example, if it is 3 1 and 2, you can see that the OR of this will be greater than 2. The OR of this, which is 1 itself, is greater than or equal to 1, and this is greater than or equal to 2, greater than or equal to 1, and this subarray is greater than or equal to 1 because it is 3. Likewise, this will be greater than or equal to 2, this will be greater than 3. So likewise, this is a permutation which is following what we wanted, right? So basically what we want is, we want a permutation such that all subarray, if we find any subarray, then the OR of all the elements in that subarray is greater than equal to the number of elements in that subarray. Okay, so now first things first, let's take n as anything. Let's take n as 7. Suppose n is 7. Now let's just write the numbers from 1 to 7. Okay, so 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Now what we want, suppose if we have a subarray, if we have a subarray of length 2, so then all of those two numbers should be greater than or equal to 2, right? Okay, so let's look at this. So the OR of this will be greater than or equal to 2, right? Why? Because it has 2 in it, and 2 or something will be greater than or equal to 2. It won't be less than 2. Okay, likewise, if we OR these two, it will obviously be greater than or equal to 2. If we OR these two elements, it will obviously be greater than or equal to 2. Likewise, if we take a subarray of length 3, so this will be the first subarray of length 3, right? And this will definitely be, the OR of these elements will be definitely greater than or equal to 3. Why? Because 3 is in it. Okay, and 3 or 2 or 1 will increase only. It won't go lesser than 3. Likewise, if we take a subarray of, and so all the subarray of length 3 will be like this. This will also be greater than or equal to 3. The OR of this will also be greater than or equal to 3. Likewise, you take subarray of any length greater less than n, the OR of those elements will be definitely greater than the length of that subarray. So my point is, if you simply write 1 2 3 4 till n, then if you write 1 2 3 4 till n, that is your answer. Okay, if you just look at some more examples, we'll be able to see it if you still haven't been able to. But anyways, that's my code, quite simple. So all I did was that simply from 0 to n, I just did I plus 1, meaning from 1 to n, I just wrote every number that there is and it passed the pretest. So very simple problem. All we had to do was find a permutation so that every subarray and the OR of elements in that subarray should be greater than or equal to the length of that subarray. Okay, very simple. Now let's look at problem second. Okay, now the problem second is given that we have a grid. Okay, we have a grid of n rows and m columns, and the cell in the ith row, from the top and the jth row from the column is ij. Okay, so it's like from 0 to m and from 0 to n down and 0 to m towards the right. Okay, now there is a counter at the cell nm where all luggage is picked. Okay, and first every cell except n comma m has a direction which can be either right or it can be either down. And so if the luggage is kept on that, depending on what the number is, depending on what direction is there, it will move to either right or down. So for example, if a cell is in ij and r is written, so it will move to the right. Okay, and if any luggage moves out of the grid, it is considered to be lost. Okay, now a conveyor belt is functional if only and if all the luggage reaches the counter. Okay, no luggage should be lost, each of the luggage should be reaching the counter. So initially this may not hold true, meaning that initially the direction is given on each belt. However, all the luggage may not reach n comma m. So what we are allowed to do is we are allowed to change the directions of some cells so that every luggage in each cell moves to n comma m. Okay, and you can see that the constraints are also very less, so you can even write brute force. But what the solution is, I'll just show you. So I just made a grid in WordPad. Okay, okay. So just look at this. Okay, so this is n comma n, right? So this is n comma m. So no problem here. Now let's look at the grid above. What should be the direction on this? The direction on this should be down. If it is right, then it will move out of the grid. And likewise, the direction of this should be right, because if it is down, it will move out of the grid. What about this? Now this can be either down or either right. We don't care, because anyways, if it is down, it will reach here. This will be r. It will reach to n comma m. If it is right, it will reach here. It is down, it will reach below. So this can be anything. Likewise, if you notice, this can be anything also, and this can be anything also, right? However, if you go to this column, then this should be down only, because if it is not down, then it will move out of the grid. So this whole column should be down only. Okay, and again this can be down or right, it doesn't matter. And again this can be down or right, it doesn't matter, because ultimately if it is reaching this column or staying in the same column, it will reach. Okay, likewise this can also be down or right, this, it doesn't matter. This can also be down or right, it doesn't matter. But as soon as I come here, again here also down or right, okay, it doesn't matter. But as soon as I reach here, then if it is down, it will move out of the grid. So here it should only be right, again here it should only be right, and here it should only be right. And this can be again either down or right, this can be again either down or right, and again this can be either down or right, and likewise for this. So what it should look like is something like this. Okay, so meaning that we don't care what is inside here. In all these columns, on all these cells, we don't care what is there. But this row, this column and this row, except n comma m, this column should be down and this row should be fully r, and that's it. If this is down and this is row, this is right and this is down, then no matter where the luggage goes from any other cell, it will ultimately reach either this or either this. And when it reaches any of this, it will automatically reach to our position, which is n comma m. So very simple, all we had to do was that. So I'll just show you guys my code. So the code is this. So basically from 0 to n, I've just taken, so I've used a character array. So I've just taken each line, RR, DD, whatever line was there, and then I'm just checking the last column and the last row. And so like I said, the last column should, this should be D and this should be right. This should be D down and this should be right. So I'm checking for that only, and if it is not, then I'm increasing count, because then we'll have to change that. And finally, we're just printing the total count that there is. So quite simple. Both of these problems are quite simple, I guess below 1000 only. So that's all guys. Thank you.